Welcome to Plasma TV for Gaming, and here is the reason why this channel exists. This $25 Plasma TV that I bought, and I'm like, people need to know about this because I'm coming from a 1440p IPS gaming monitor, and this is so much better. It's not even close. And you can get these TVs almost for free. And you should run and buy a plasma TV no matter what you have. Why? Well, because you can get them literally for free and they are amazing. And all you need is 60 FPS at 1080p, and the motion is better than 120, okay? So if you like ray tracing, for example, you can get your 1080p 60 FPS looking great. Okay? Look at this. Because you might think, well, you got lucky. You got lucky. I mean, $25, what a deal. Look at it. This is Facebook Marketplace. Free, $20, free, $25, $35. How about $10, $15? These are all Panasonic plasma TVs that you can get. Okay? Of course, this is in the US. It depends. You know, maybe in some states, there's gonna be a lot more plasma TVs available, of course. You might be in a state where they don't have many. And of course, these are not all amazing. You have to check. Make sure that your plasma is 1080p, because there are some 720p plasma TVs. They still look good for just to watch the TV, but definitely get a 1080p. And Panasonic is one of the best that you can get, one of the best brands. Make sure it is as new as possible, so as close to 2013 as possible, which was the year where they discontinued the plasma technology. And also check for other brands, because Samsung, for example, has the brightest plasma TV ever created. And that thing is ridiculous. If you can get one, I think the model is F8500 or something like that. I will post that in the description of the video. And also, you can hunt for a Pioneer Kuro 9th generation plasma TV. Now, the problem I have with that TV, and I have one, and it's far better. I mean, the picture quality is just unbelievably good. But the problem I have with that TV for gaming is that the input lag is not great. So when you're buying a plasma TV, check a review, see if you can find input lag information to make sure it's a good one for gaming. Because, for example, the Panasonic ZT60 is considered to be one of the best, but the lower tier model, the ST60, is supposed to have a little bit better input lag for gaming. So that might be a better option. But it doesn't matter, bro. If you're spending $35, I mean, that's free. I mean, it's irrelevant. This is irrelevant money for an absolutely unbelievable picture quality. Now, why plasma TVs are so good? Because you might think, bro, 1080p, a 42-inch screen, or even 60 inches. My Pioneer Kuro is 60 inches, just 1080p. You might think, bro, that's going to look blurry. No. Or you might think, well, the text clarity is not going to be very good. No, it's amazing. And here's why. The plasma technology is self-emissive RGB. Now, you do not have perfect blacks like with OLEDs, but the contrast is amazing. There's no blooming whatsoever. The viewing angles of the plasma technology is God tier. It doesn't get any better than plasma TV when it comes to viewing angles. The colors are beautiful. Okay, absolutely incredible colors, to the point where, coming from this $25 plasma TV. I got an LG C1 WRGB OLED, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's something wrong with this TV. The colors are dead. Like, it's just not colorful enough. Comparing it with this. Now, if I compare my LG C1 with the Pioneer Kuro in the colors, it's just not even on the same realm, okay? This Pioneer Kuro has some greens that are ferocious, okay? It's just unbelievably saturated, a lot more than this one, okay? So how can I get an OLED, which is supposed to be, you know, the best of the best, and be underwhelmed? Because I was comparing it with a plasma. That's how good it is. Now, if you get a QD OLED display, there's no way the plasma is gonna be more, it's gonna have better color saturation or anything like that. But again, free, $700, okay? Now, the other thing is the motion clarity. When we're playing a game, we're moving all the time, right? So we know at this point, especially for PC gaming, that 60 FPS sucks. It just doesn't look clear in motion. So we want to hit over 100 at least, over 100 frames per second for the motion to not be absolutely awful. Okay? Now the thing is, the plasma technology is not sample and hold. It is an impulse display. So the screen is flickering. Because it's flickering, the persistence is a lot lower. So the persistence is around 4 milliseconds. But the motion is almost, it can be as good as 240. But it doesn't get there, especially when you move the camera very fast. It's not like a 240 hertz. 240 FPS experience. It will not be like that, but it's definitely better than 120. That I can tell you for sure, no matter which plasma you get. Now, there are some plasmas that are better than others. For example, my Pioneer Kuro has better motion, significantly better motion clarity than this Panasonic plasma. So it depends for sure. And also there are some Neo plasmas. I think the Panasonic ST60 has even better motion clarity than these or my Kuro. So there's like a Neo plasma that was like the latest generation plasma technology that I think it had even better motion clarity. I'm not sure, but I've heard 2 milliseconds of persistence. That would be amazing, but I've never tested one of those. So definitely, if you can find a 2013 Panasonic plasma, buy it. I've been hunting for one of those for a while, but it's hard to find, you know, close to me. But I'll keep trying because it's just a special technology. Now you can see here in the comparison the difference between my 1440p 360 Hz QD OLED monitor and this plasma TV. The QD OLED monitor looks kind of red on camera, and it also looks kind of red or magenta here in person in comparison with the plasma TV. When it comes to the white balance and the way the colors look right now, I like this a lot more, and it's not even close. Now, the problem with this QD OLED monitor is the calibration. Okay, if you calibrate it, you can get it looking perfect, okay, and better than this plasma. But out of the box, you know, it's a random luck, really, because I tested 3 QD OLED monitors, and the white balance was different in all 3 of them. Everything was different. Near black crushing was different. The colors were different. The color temperature, everything was different. So I don't know. So when you watch a review from one of these QD OLED monitors, I don't think that when it comes to the calibration out of the box, well, from the factory, I don't think that's going to be representative of what you are going to get with your own unit. It's just different. So comparing it with the plasma right now, I like the plasma a lot more when it comes to, you know, white balance and the colors and all of that. This looks a little bit over saturated for SDR, and it looks kind of magenta, kind of red. But of course, you can fix it with calibration and make it look a lot better. I mean, when it comes to picture quality, QD OLED is going to be far superior in every single way to the plasma technology. But the motion at 60 frames per second will not be better. Okay, it's not gonna be even close. When I move the camera, looking at this QD OLED monitor, it's blurry. It's very blurry. When I look at the plasma, it's good. At this speed, I'm moving the camera at this speed, it's good, it's clear. It's not amazing. This is not like a CRT. So if you compare a plasma with a CRT, CRT is 4 times better, I mean, more than 4 times better than this plasma technology. So this is not like a giant CRT. Okay, it's also phosphorus incandescent base, but it's not as good as CRTs. But the problem with CRTs is that they are very expensive. If you get a very good CRT monitor, they are crazy expensive, especially your FW900 and all of that. It's like $3,000 for a CRT. That's nonsense. And the reason why they are so expensive is because of videos like this from much bigger YouTube channels that have give CRTs more popularity, so people know what they have. So hopefully that doesn't happen with plasmas. So far they are still cheap, okay? And this channel is not big enough to make the price of plasma TVs skyrocket or anything like that, because I've done many videos like this so far and they are still almost free. So it's not a CRT, but they are so cheap. They're unbelievably cheap. Now the other reason why, so why would you get a plasma TV? If you have a QD OLED monitor, there's one big reason to get a plasma TV. And that is, you are not sure about a TV. So you have a monitor, right? And the reason why you have a monitor is either because it's cheaper than TVs, sometimes, or because you are not sure about the size for your desk, or the place you have to play games. So you don't want to jump into QD OLED TVs because maybe you don't think that's gonna be better, or you don't know, you're not sure, right? Get a plasma TV because it's so super cheap and you can try the TV experience. And let me tell you, once you see a bigger size, there's no going back. It's very hard. Even when this 1440p QD OLED monitor is just better in every way, it's hard to go to a smaller size, even if it's better. So my point is, even if you have an amazing monitor, get a big, cheap, amazing plasma TV and you're going to get your foot on the door of TV. Gaming on TVs, gaming on big, amazing TVs, because that's where it's at. Okay, I strongly believe there's nothing better than a huge, amazing TV for gaming, especially now that we have OLEDs. So this is like a very cheap way to try that big screen PC experience, or even consoles. I mean, the plasma TV is amazing for consoles. You get 60 FPS and you have an incredible experience. So that's one reason. Another reason, of course, if you have an LCD monitor, throw that into the garbage and get a plasma TV, because it's gonna be way better, okay, way better picture quality. Now, of course, if you have a mini LED monitor that has the dimming zones and all of that, yeah, it might be, it's a lot brighter, yeah, it might be better. But I mean, right now, QD OLED, compare the brightness with this plasma TV, is this QD OLED monitor, which is 250 nits full screen, it's not making the plasma TV look like a dim TV. And the cameras are very good in picking up the difference in brightness. It's not a big difference. Now, my Pioneer Kuro plasma is way dimmer than this Panasonic plasma. It looks a lot better, so brightness is not all that matters, okay? My Pioneer Kuro blows this Panasonic out of the water in every single way. It has much better contrast, much more deeper blacks. I mean, the blacks are amazing, and it looks better in motion, and the quality, it has a lot less mosquito noise. So these plasma TVs have dithering, so near black you will see some mosquito noise. The Kuro has a lot less of that. You can still see it, but it's beautiful. At a normal viewing distance, it's not gonna bother you at all. But yeah, if you have an LCD, bro, throw that into the garbage and get a plasma TV, or maybe get a plasma TV and then compare them. Of course, this is not gonna be amazing for competitive gaming or anything like that. Let's compare the input lag. You can see the OLED, if I jump, the OLED is going sooner. But I mean, not by a lot. Not by a lot. And also, if you have the horsepower and you want a lower input lag, you can use, with NVIDIA GPUs, you can use fast sync on the NVIDIA control panel and then run the game as high as it will go, because right now the game is maxed out and the GPU utilization, I mean, I didn't open Afterburner here. Let me do that so to show you that. So look at this. Right now, the game is maxed out 1080p DLAA, and the GPU utilization is 42%. Okay? So can I get a better quality? Yes, I can still use DLSR, NVIDIA Deep Learning Super Resolution, and use that with DLSS 4 at the same time, and it's going to look a little bit better, but not a big difference. And maybe in some games it will not even look better. So if I have horsepower just not being utilized, one thing I can do is use fast sync. Still lock the, so I don't lock the frame rate. So right now I have the frame rate locked to 60 FPS and NVIDIA Reflex, so I get a good input lag. But one thing I can do for the plasma TV is use fast sync and then let the frame rate run as high as possible, or maybe lock the frame rate to 120, for example. Or it could be 130, it doesn't matter the target, because what fast sync is going to do is it will prevent a screen tearing, so you will not see screen tearing, and now the input lag is gonna be way better because the render latency is lower. Okay, so that is a tip. If you have more power than necessary for a plasma TV, that is a tip to improve the responsiveness of the game. But even at 60 FPS, this is good enough to play. I mean, you're seeing the comparison with a QD OLED. Yes, it's faster. I can clearly see that the QD OLED is responding faster, but it's not a big difference. Now with my Pioneer Kuro, yeah, there's a big difference. The input lag is not good on that TV, and that's unfortunate because it's just absolutely incredible picture quality. So that's another reason. Now, what if you have best QD OLED TV right now, the S95F? A plasma TV is not gonna come even close to that in any way. Okay, so you have a high-end gaming PC, the S95F, 165 FPS. Not even the motion will be better on a plasma. At that point, they're gonna be close, but in some cases, if you pan the camera slowly, the plasma might be better, depending on the plasma you have. But the motion is close, and the QD OLED is just gonna look better in every single way. It will not be close. So what if you have that? Why would you get a plasma TV? Well, if you like ray tracing, you have to go back to 1080p 60 FPS. So a plasma TV is a great way to enjoy ray tracing. There you go. If you like to play ray tracing, get your plasma TV and enjoy. That's why I don't use ray tracing. But if I'm playing with a plasma TV, yeah, I have the horsepower, I can use ray tracing. So I might do a separate video about ray tracing with one of these Real Engine demos and show that on the Pioneer Kuro. That one looks incredible. So yeah, let's leave it there, man. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you have any questions, also, I'll leave this for the next video. I was gonna show ray tracing demo. I think this video is long enough already. I'll do that on the next video on the Pioneer Cooler. So yeah, I mean, check the specific model. One thing that I do when looking for these plasma TVs, because I'm always hunting. Once in a while, I'm hunting for these plasma TVs. One thing that I look is, of course, the back. If someone is posting the back of the TV, that tells you everything. You just have to, if they have the model, you can just search for a review. This one is from June 2011, so this is similar to the one that I have, which is not great. This is not a great plasma TV. This is a TCP42S1. I would recommend you try to get something better, okay? Because it could be better. There are some plasmas that are a lot better. This was $1,000 MSRP. There's a lot much more expensive plasmas. For example, the Pioneer Kuro was like $7,000, $6,500, and today's money that would be like $10,000. So I might do a video about that, like a $10,000 display with a 5090. So, but what I do is I search for the vessels to be like more modern, like thinner, because those are the latest generation plasma TVs. So for example, this one, 55-inch with these vessels, Panasonic, let's check this out. Let's see if this one is $40. It doesn't have the model, maybe the picture. Yeah, this one doesn't have a model. So of course, what I do is I send them a message, hey, show me a picture of the back label. But this one looks thin. 55-inch, this is looking good. So 1080p, 55-inch Panasonic, just ask them for a picture of the back. And again, this is just in general, not this specifically. I'm telling you what I do. This one is $200, so this one could be an ST60. See, this one looks similar to the one we were looking at. Maybe it is exactly the same. But they are selling it with a sound system. That's another thing. I bought the Pioneer Kuro with an AV receiver and two big speakers on top of the two speakers that come with the TV for $300. Okay, and that was not like a crazy deal. You can get those for like $200. I've seen them, but that's what I was able to find, and I think it was definitely worth it. Now this one doesn't have the model, but it could be a good one. These are all good. All these 1080p Panasonic plasma TVs, they are good. But try to search for the newest one you can find. This one for $20 seems to be similar to mine. Oh, look at this. This one is $400, so that might be too much. I would pay $400 for the ST60 or the ZT60. I think it is worth it. But it has to be one of the best, or the Samsung F8500. I think it is the brightest plasma TV. But yeah, man, just search for them on Facebook Marketplace and try to find a good deal. Try to find a good deal and try to find the best. So don't hurry with that. Just take your time. Every day, once in a while, check, and you might find one of the best plasmas for almost nothing. But if you have to pay like $200, $300 for one of the best, go for it, man. This is amazing. It's definitely worth it. So yeah, man, let's leave it there. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Do you still have your plasma TV? And by the way, just to watch the TV, I mean, I've been using my Pioneer Kuro a lot. I'll do a video with that because I set it on a place, on a space that is very convenient, and that's very important, to actually use the TV to be in a space that is very comfortable. I'll do a video about that. But just to watch the TV, I've been watching Netflix like the last 2 weeks. I've been playing the guitar, and using the Pioneer Kuro a lot. So yeah, let's leave it there. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you have any questions, and yeah, I'll do another video on plasma. I'll do with the Pioneer. So this will not be the last one. Of course, once in a while, I will make a plasma video. But of course, there's a lot more things that I like to talk about. But the name of the channel will always remain Plasma TV for Gaming, because it's the lore. There's a reason why I opened this channel. This was the only message really I wanted to share initially, was this message. Just run and buy a Plasma TV. They are almost free. They are amazing. You might be blown away. And it's just a steal of a deal. So that was my core message. So I'm not gonna change the name of the channel. I don't think so. But I'm not gonna be making a plasma video every day, because there's a lot more things to talk about. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.